Impact Wrestling presents Bound for Glory. Impact Wrestling presents its biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, live October 21st from Sincero Stadium in Chicago. Tickets are on sale now at eventbrite.com. The aerial assassin Will Ospreay battles Speedball Mike Bailey at Bound for Glory. Fans around the globe were abuzz when Impact Wrestling announced that the megastar Will Ospreay would be making his long-awaited return at Bound for Glory. As revealed during Impact's 1000 episode celebration, we can now confirm that Ospreay's opponent will be none other than Mike Bailey. Bailey has taken the wrestling world by storm over the last few years and has made a name for himself as one of the most innovative athletes in the sport today. These two were originally scheduled to face off earlier this year at Multiverse United. Only the strong survive, but the match was called off due to injury. At Bound for Glory, brace yourself for an epic clash between the aerial assassin and Speedball. Josh Alexander vows to reclaim the title he never lost in Bound for Glory World Championship Showdown versus Alex Shelley. This past April, Josh Alexander was forced to vacate the Impact World title due to injury after becoming the longest reigning Impact World Champion in the company's illustrious history. In his absence, Alex Shelley dethroned Steve MACLIN to kick off his first reign with the pro wrestling's top prize. But then, the closing moments of Slammiversary saw Alexander make his valiant return as Shelley celebrated a hard-fought victory over Nick Aldis. Alexander made it clear that his only goal was to reclaim the title he never lost, and at Bound for Glory, he will receive an opportunity to do just that. Shelley has taken offense to Alexander claiming that the Impact World title is still his, which has resulted in tensions being escalated between champion and challenger. In fact, it was Shelley who chose to watch on as Alexander was laid out by the Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Rascals. The biggest stage of the year will serve as the battleground for Shelley and Alexander, as both look to prove that they are the rightful owner to the Impact World Championship. Kenta challenges Chris Sabin for the X Division title in Impact Return at Bound for Glory. After dethroning Leo Rush to become the new X Division champion at Impact 1000, Chris Sabin successfully retained his title over a game Alan Angels less than 2 weeks later. Angels pulled out all the stops, but ultimately it wasn't enough to overcome the record-setting 10-time champion. When the dust had settled, Sabin was confronted with a video message stating that one of New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest stars, Kenta, would be making his Impact return at Bound for Glory. Later in the night, we learned that Kenta will be challenging Sabin for the X Division title in a first-time ever match. Who will lead the biggest event of the year as X Division champion? We find out at Bound for Glory. Trinity vs James for the Knockouts World title, an epic first time ever match at Bound for Glory. After being forced to vacate the Knockouts World Championship due to injury, Mickie James made her triumphant return in a huge 10 Knockouts tag team match at Impact 1000. As she celebrated with her team, Mickie's eyes caught the Knockouts World title belt that was hanging over the shoulder of current title holder Trinity. 1 week later, Trinity toppled Giselle Shaw in a breathtaking main event, but when Savannah Evans and Jay Fidel attacked her after the bell, it was James who came to Trinity's aid. In that moment, James revealed that she'd be invoking her contractually obligated rematch clause at Bound for Glory. James has gone head to head with some of the greatest talent in all of professional wrestling, but she's never faced Trinity. Both Knockouts share nothing but respect for one another, and only one can stand tall as the Knockouts World Champion. ABC activate their Impact World Tag Team title shot will challenge the Rascals at Bound for Glory. In the return of the high-risk, high-reward Feast or Fired match at Impact 1000, Chris Bay secured a briefcase that would award him and his tag team partner, Ace Austin, a shot at the Impact World Tag Team titles. After being screwed by the Good Hands, ABC finally have a chance to reclaim the gold they once held, and on the biggest stage of the year to boot. When ABC revealed that they would be activating their Impact World Tag Team title shot at Bound for Glory, they weren't sure who they would be challenging. But 1 week later on Impact, their opponents were confirmed when the Rascals successfully defended the Impact World Tag Team titles against the duo of Rich Swann and Sami Callihan. Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz unite to challenge MK Ultra in Knockouts Tag Title Showdown at Bound for Glory. After returning to Impact Wrestling at Impact 1000, Tasha Steelz was approached by Deonna Purrazzo, who proposed that the two former Knockouts World Champions form an alliance. With dominance of the Knockouts division in mind, Steelz accepted her offer, and the duo didn't waste time in making their mark. 1 week later, Steelz defeated one half of the reigning Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, Killer Kelly, with the help of her new ally at ringside. Later in the night, we learned that Steelz and Purrazzo will now challenge MK Ultra for the Knockouts World Tag Team titles at the biggest event of the year, Bound for Glory. MK Ultra have conquered all who stood before them, but can they survive the dangerous new alliance of the Barracuda Badass and the Virtuosa? Bound for Glory, PCO and Rhino and Steve Macklin and Moose tear each other apart in Monsters Ball. 4 of the most fearsome individuals in Impact Wrestling will collide at Bound for Glory, but this is no ordinary match. This is the no disqualification and no countout, weapons field free for all, known as Monsters Ball. PCO and Rhino and Steve Macklin and Moose will face off under one of the most barbaric stipulations in all of professional wrestling, but when the dust settles, only one will be left standing. Bad blood is about to boil over, especially for Rhino and Steve Macklin, who have been at each other's throats since Rhino made his shocking return at Impact 1000. Rhino is out to gore MACLIN after MACLIN tried to end his career earlier this year. Meanwhile, PCO has a score to settle with MACLIN after he was lit on fire in the bowels of centre stage. Then you have Moose, who has a future Impact World title shot in his possession and is determined to stake his claim on the grand stage. Impact Wrestling presents its biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, live October the 21st from San Siro Stadium in Chicago. Tickets are on sale now at eventbrite.com. Bound for Glory Fallout October the 22nd, Chicago. Witness the fallout from Bound for Glory as the television trucks of IMPACTonAXSTV come to San Siro Stadium in Chicago, featuring all your favourite Impact stars in action. Tickets are on sale now at eventbrite.com.